What's going on, Knicks and
What's going
Bruises?
on?
I got my guy Jan, the Knicks fan, the Knicks cave. What's going on, brother?
How you doing, bro? Thanks for having me on.
Salute, salute. I appreciate you jumping on. Um, so we've been talking behind the scenes. I got to get you on as an official episode guest, but this is just a little introduction. We'll have a little bit of Knicks talk and introduce you to the Knicks fan base that aren't familiar with you. And then stay tuned. We'll have the episode soon.
Thank you, bro, and I appreciate it.
Appreciate you coming on, man. So
Uh,
there's a couple things I wanted to talk about today. Um, and I'll get your opinion on them as well. I'll let you lead the way. So the first topic I wanted to talk about was Reggie Bullock and him making these comments about about the Mavs being a dream come true, or excuse me, a no brainer of a situation as far as going there and not resigning here. What was your initial thoughts on his comments?
yo,
Was
honestly,
was
I
it
felt
was it a
betrayed.
shot at the Knicks or was it
Yeah, actually, I thought it was a shot at the fans, at the city. Yo, honestly, I felt betrayed, dude. I'm being honest with you. Like, we showed really Bullock so much love when we was here. You know what I'm saying? I know I did. I used to defend this dude at work, other people. I'm like, yo, because as good of a defensive player he did have time. He looked like he wasn't even in the game, but he made up for it with the timely shots and everything. But when I heard that, when I read that statement, I was like, wow. It's like he couldn't wait. Because the Knicks actually asked him, like, yo, hold off on a second. They asked him, could he wait? And he still chose Dallas. So I don't know. I don't know. I just say I feel betrayed in a way. You know what I'm saying? As a Knicks fan, you know what I'm saying? I just feel betrayed. I thought he was feeling the Knicks, to be honest with you.
interesting? Queen, let me get a mic check. Yeah,
Mike, can you hear me?
I hear you now, loud and
All right.
clear.
Awesome.
Welcome aboard. Thank you for joining me.
Hello.
If you
Hello.
haven't met
Hello.
Jan, the Knicks fan, he has a channel, the Knicks Cave.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So
I'm going to
check
check it
out
out.
his channel.
Definitely.
Um, we just started. And first topic was Reggie Bullock's shot at the Knicks. Was it a shot at the Knicks, or was he just showing love to his new situation?
What did he
You
say exactly?
basically they asked him about joining the Mavs, and he said it was a no brainer of a situation. But as Jan pointed out, the Knicks did ask him to hold out and wait on and basically come back, but just wait on, let us figure out a few things before before we resign you. So your thoughts, was it a shot at the Knicks, or was he just showing love to his new situation?
It could have been both. It could have been both. Was he was he the first choice and Burke was the second choice? And because he signed with Dallas, they went with Burke? Because I don't see how they could have signed both of them.
Uh,
Mm.
I mean, I don't know that,
Mhm.
like that you would have to figure out from the Knicks side.
Right.
But if they, let's just say Burks waited, we
Mhm.
could
I
say
was
that.
thinking, I thought about that too. I was like, did they go to him first or did they go to Burks? But then I was like, they probably
Right.
went to Bullock first, and then I don't know because what baffles me because he still got 30 million now. It seems like we're giving everybody 30 million now 3-year contract, and why did he
Right.
leave? That's what I'm saying. I feel betrayed. I felt like he was no matter what, he was ready to leave. You know what I'm saying? That's
Or
how I feel.
or maybe, he didn't trust the Knicks, maybe, they asking me to wait. And this, maybe Dallas was saying, we can't wait for you to wait on the Knicks. You know what I mean? So you're going to sign with us right now, or, you're going to just, wait for the Knicks. Or maybe he didn't want to wait. Um, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I did think about was, now granted, to me it was fair, but he did have to renegotiate his initial contract last year, correct? Once
Yeah, because of the
the
back. I think it
was
was the
it
back or neck
or
injury.
neck injury, I
Yeah,
believe.
yes,
But
yes.
once that was revealed, that was revealed, he had to renegotiate his contract.
Right.
What's going on, CT? Thanks for joining.
What's going on, fam?
What's going on, bro?
Chat.
The topic right now is Reggie Bullock, and was he taking a shot at the Knicks, or was he just showing love to his new situation? So again, my take is, I think he definitely took a shot at the Knicks. I think the fact that we did ask him to hold out, like you said, Steph, there was some distrust there.
That's what I'm thinking.
But all things, like with us looking at what happened in hindsight, should there have been mistrust? Everybody else pretty much got repaid for their services, and repaid handsomely for their services. Some say overpaid. So, I mean, I guess the Knicks organization showed improve. So the distrust was probably not warranted, and you could have very easily said it was a tough decision, and not taking a shot, and still show love to who you ultimately signed with. So I think it was a minor shot, nothing serious, but I definitely do agree with it. It was a shot. What's your thoughts, CT?
Yeah, I'm on the same page. I think, you always, look ahead to your new team that wanted you and invested in you, and the team that didn't want to invest in you at the end of the day. I think the Knicks had to make a decision with Alec Burks or Bullock, and they made their choice.
Well, ultimately, I think he made his choice, which made their choice for them. Because that was one of the questions I brought up a few weeks ago. I would have thought they would have went after Bullock before Burks, for the simple fact that the defensive aspect, especially if they knew they were going to pursue Fournier. Fournier is still an upgrade from Burks or Bullock. So you know what I mean, if you're looking at it from that aspect, initially I thought they would have signed Bullock first before Burks.
Did we have room, Tony, you think, for both of them? Like, where would fit on this? Where would both of them have fit on this roster?
Well, I think so, because
I wasn't saying both of them, and I don't think we could have brought them both back. At least not at the 10 million range. You know what I mean? Maybe if they both took 7.5 or 8, and ultimately we still could have went over the cap to sign Derrick Rose. So we probably could have made it work. But I don't think we would have signed both of them back. And brought in Fournier. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think Fournier is an upgrade over either one. What were you saying, Jan?
I was going to answer her question, but actually I do think that they could have, because if you think about it, they restructured Taj Gibson contract. They gave him $10 million for 2 years. So they could have worked something out, because he only got $30 million over there. They could have worked something out. But it didn't make no sense to bring him back if they was going after Fournier. And that's why I think maybe he fell slightly. Maybe they asked him to wait to see how things went with Evan. So he just got a little upset and like, you know what? I'm just going to go over to Dallas. It don't make no sense. I'm not going to wait and see what y'all going to do. But I think they could have signed Burks, Fournier, and Bullock. Maybe Burks would have been the one who got lesser money. But I think they could have signed them three, because I was thinking about the Taj Gibson contract. They didn't really have to sign Taj Gibson. I think that's just more of you did a favor, big fella. You know what I'm saying? So they brought him along. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But you bring up a good point. When they asked him to wait, they asked him to wait for what? Did they ask them to wait until they signed everybody else? Because could they have gone over the cap for him?
There was two people. I can't remember who the second one was.
I think he was one of them.
It might have been him. It might have been him.
Did they ask him to wait for that? Or did they ask him to wait for Fournier? And if Fournier signed, then, we're not going to be able to sign. In a situation like that, I wouldn't blame him for taking the first, taking Dallas offer.
No, I think it was more of wait. Even if it was wait for Fournier, I don't think it was wait for Fournier, but we might not re-sign you. I think it
Okay.
was wait for Fournier. I think they would have gladly had Bullock as that bench role that Burke is going to be in, and knowing that what he gives defensively, is still on the table. Again, I think Fournier is an upgrade over both of those guys. So if it's a fact of keeping one of them, I think you want to keep the defense because you're still upgrading offensively with Fournier.
I mean, that was my next question. Are we better? Will we have been better with Bullock um, over Burke? That's a really tough question because I think offensively we're fine. And what I like about Burke is in that fourth quarter, he can get his own shot, with something Bullock
Yeah.
can't do.
Mm-hmm.
And in that fourth quarter, he's not afraid to take the big shots. He's had a few big shots for us. He was almost like a microwave type player for us for some games. So I'm not sure if Bullock would have been better, even though defensively, no question about it.
Yeah, that's where you I mean that's where you gotta weigh it
Yeah.
because I agree he would have been way better offensively, but he wasn't getting the opportunities that Bullock was getting, and the reason is because of the what Bullock gave defensively. So again, and this is why for the past couple of streams I've been stressing how much I think RJ's growth defensively is gonna be one of the main factors of how good we end up becoming
Mhm.
because somebody's got to take up that role. And I'm not saying that Fournier can't do it,
Mhm.
but Fournier is so good offensively, you don't want to take any of that energy away from him. You
I
know what
don't
I mean?
think he's going to be the guy to do that. I don't think
And,
he's going to be the one that's playing the best wing player.
I mean, I'm saying I'm not gonna say he can't do it, but I would prefer him not. I would prefer it be RJ, but hopefully he could handle that task. So I mean that actually could be my next question. Do you think RJ can handle the task of guarding the best defender or the best offensive guy on the perimeter next year? I mean, he's
It's a
gonna
game.
have to in my mind.
Yeah.
But how do you think he
He
fares?
he might have to, but is he going to be good at it?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Uh,
He'll struggle,
uh,
I think, early on because he's still trying to find his game offensively. You know, for RJ, he's got to find consistency, pulling up
yeah.
off the dribble. Refining his offensive game. But I think for spurts, he can be a solid, defender for us.
Or does it become more reliant on the entire defensive scheme and Tibbs?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be RJ by default. Um, and I think he'll be okay. I don't know if he'll be as good as Bullock, but I think he'll be okay. I mean, he played, his defense definitely improved over the course of last season, for sure. So it's possible. I don't think he's somebody that would shy away from the challenge. I think he'd be up for it.
Well, I was thinking probably the first half of the season, Tibbs probably go away more of zoning, just because our
Mm,
offense will have more improving defense. He's going to see where our defense. This is how I feel. He's going to see where the defense is at. So for the
mm-hmm.
first couple of games, he might just do a couple, run, see how his zone defense run. That's why I think do a team collectively before he put all that weight on RJ to see exactly where he at. But if I don't know, I think we all sleeping on Evan, honestly. I think his defense is not that bad. You know what I'm saying? If you think about the games that he played against the Knicks and how he held our players, I know we might say the players who he was holding, but I don't think he's that bad, that worse than Bullock. I think he's better than Burks actually, and I think he would be surprise everybody. But I think Tibbs can go with a more of a zone defense early on in the season just to see where the defense is at.
CT?
yeah, that's a good point. I think Evan, I'm high on him. I've never really thought he was a negative defender. He can hold his own. And the fact that we get more scoring puts the other defense under pressure too. When you're constantly picking the ball out of the hoop, it makes your defense better because you get set, you get to get back, and I think overall it's just going to balance out. We leveled down one notch defensively, we leveled up one notch offensively. At the end of the day, the score is going to be the same.
Agreed. So one of my next questions is, who is under the most pressure this coming season? And let me start off by just saying, before I give my answer, I'm not trying to sway your answers, but I don't think Julius Randle's pressure actually comes up until that first playoff game and first playoff series. And that's just the reason why I'm not saying I'm not picking him yet, because I'm not making my pick yet, but I just feel like his pressure won't kick in until the playoffs. But who do you think this coming season, who has the most pressure coming up?
Mitch, I think. I think if you want to include Mitch, I think he
Going
could
in and out.
be there. Yeah.
I am. I'm going in and out.
I can't really hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, we got you. Yeah, I was saying Mitch might be under the most pressure. Contract year, coming back off injuries. We know Noel produced somewhat, before the playoffs, and there's a battle. I still think Mitch is the better center, the better option, but yeah, Mitch is under pressure. He wants that bag, and he's played on a bargain deal for the last 4 seasons, and I know it's tough for every player that wants to get paid and set themselves up. And in terms of the team's success, the biggest player could be RJ. I think there's more expectation on him third year round, and given the development he's shown, and to your point about Reggie not being there, I think there's going to be a lot more pressure defensively for RJ.
Yeah, I agree. Y'all can hear me?
Hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, Steph.
I hear you now.
Agree. I think it's Mitch too. I'm sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties. I also think it's Mitch. The thing about it though, his contract is going to be resolved before the season. But if it's not, that means that he's a free agent because we can't sign him to that extension during the season. And I think that might put pressure on him because now he wants to play well, if not for the Knicks, maybe for his next team. You know what I mean? So he wants to play well so that, okay, you guys don't want to pay me what I want now. If the pressure is on him to really ball out so that in free agency, either from the Knicks or another team, he can get what he wants. I think there's some pressure on Kemba as well. Um, there's the pressure he's putting on himself to prove that he's not that injury prone player and that last year with Boston was an aberration, and that he could still play. Because people are not, like for me, my concern is the injuries, not his game. But there are some people that are concerned about his game, that he's lost a step and he's not the same player. So I think that he's putting pressure on himself, I would think, to try to do well. But I think the pressure is on him as well. From a fan standpoint, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, it's just $8 million," but you're going to be the starting point guard on a team that was seeded number 4, who's trying to do big things, and we're counting on you. So I would say a little on Kemba as well.
Jen, what's your thoughts?
I don't. Can he not hear us?
I hear you guys. Hold on a
Yeah, I
second.
hear everybody as well.
Good.
Yeah, I can hear.
Check. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can always hear you. Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right, Jan, you can't hear us, I guess. My bad. Having
Might
some
be his mic, no?
technical difficulties. I lost my train of thought. Where were we at? Oh, the who has the most pressure on him? I agree with you guys with Mitch. That was gonna be my pick, but just to switch it up a little bit.
I don't know. I got a bad connection on this end.
Say that again, Jan. Oh, I lost him. Sorry about that, guys. What do you think about Tibbs? How much pressure is on Tibbs right now? Um, you know, technically kind of overachieved last year. Didn't really have a good playoff output, if you will. Some would say he was out coach maybe. And then coming back this second year, it's a lot more expectation, a lot more pressure. So I think he might be under a lot of pressure this year. But I do agree as far as Mitch, if he's not re-signed or extended before the season, then yeah, I agree with him. But what's your thoughts on pressure on Tibbs?
Yeah, I think the biggest element is the upgraded roster. There's pieces now where Tibbs has more at his disposal, and especially Kemba offensively, Evan Fournier. There is the pressure to integrate those and show that you can not only replicate the great success last season, but take that next step, because that is expectation now, that the Knicks will at least be the same or at least need to be better, and better offensively. He has Kemba instead of Alfred, so he can't. Yes, he might try to say Alfred played D and was switchable. That's not going to hold up if he says that in a press conference. You have a 4-time All-Star player now. That's an upgrade. Yes, Kemba's not the same defender, but overall the roster is better. Tibbs needs to show he can use all the pieces and improve offensively. Either listen to some of the assistants and make more adjustments, and also we have the depth that we didn't have last season.
Yeah, that's a fact. Tricky Nicky says Knox, and I can see. I actually had Knox on my list as well. I can see why Knox might be considered as under a lot of pressure. Number one, he's playing for not only a contract, but he's playing for like his NBA career, so to speak. I think if Mitch continues on the same trajectory, without even like maxing out or improving tremendously, he's gonna get another contract in this league. Knox is literally playing for his NBA career. And it's tough because he might not even get the same opportunities that he's had the past 3 years. This year. So I agree. He's under a lot of pressure. And then Shad Power says the whole team. I can see why you say that as well. Just with the pressure of being that 4th seed last year and trying to come back and at least duplicate it or improve, and or if you slide, not slide, but too much. So I do think the team is under pressure, but yeah, I think Knox. I agree. Mitch, and I also think Tibbs will probably be under the most pressure. Julius, once we get a playoff round again, then it becomes Julius and probably RJ. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Jan, we got you back, or we still having difficulties? Yeah, I think I lost. I can't hear you, bro. Well, I don't know if you can hear me, but you gotta keep working on that. CT, where you at? Oh, I think I lost your sound now.
With Knox.
There you go. Yeah, with Knox.
Yeah. Individually, that's a great pickup. Tricky. Knox, was a high pick. The front office took a gamble. Scott Perry's still here, so they're still invested in Knox, and I think we'll give him this season, or at least till the trade deadline. He's definitely in a package if a big trade is available, but I don't see Knox getting any opportunity, any more opportunity than last season because of the upgrades. And I think in terms of pressure, I think the shackles would be off Knox now. I think he knows most likely his future in the NBA is on another team. A team that's maybe not a playoff team, so he can get more reps. I can see him, wanting to really succeed in New York. That kind of pressure, not wanting to be a bust label and let the fans down. But I think maybe half of him might be hopeful of a new opportunity at the trade deadline because, we all know a player can't improve unless they're getting minutes.
But even that, where if he's not playing, or if he's playing and not playing well, what's the incentive to move him? Is it just all right? Give me a second round pick, get whatever you can, because and is another team gonna even want to give a second round pick for a guy who either isn't playing or isn't playing well?
Yeah, that's a good point because the Knicks sort of lost any leverage to play him and get some value like a second round pick this season, unless he really looks great in preseason and builds his value up a little bit. I think the opportunities aren't going to be there to showcase any kind of value. And you have Quentin Grimes on a rookie deal for the next 4 seasons, so he should be your focus to me.
How's that better?
Knox. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah. Then he's in the Matrix. Yeah, with Knox, I think if he has the opportunity, I think he can still show he can hit the shot, improve. But I just don't see the opportunity for Knox to play.
Yeah, I don't either. Again, I thought him catching COVID or COVID protocol, whatever happened where he couldn't play in this summer league, I thought that was very detrimental for him. So I agree. There's a lot of pressure on him. It's a different kind of pressure on him because he's literally got to really fight for his career right now. Maybe that brings out the best. They say people play better in their contract year. They kind of use it against certain players, like, oh, he only played well because it was a contract year. So maybe he gets in that kind of mode. I never believed that. If you can play, I don't think players turn it on for the money for 1 year and then lose interest or don't care anymore. I think that's just like a silly fan perspective or something people use to to discharacter or decharacterize somebody. So I got a few other questions or little over under game I want to play, and I'll look out in the chat and take some time and see if you guys want to give some input on this over under. So before I go to the next one, I'll probably give it a minute or so. So I'm gonna start off with the over under for wins this season, 41 wins, and the over under on there. I'm gonna go over, and I'll go as far as to say I think we win 48 games.
Hey, that's nice. That's fair. So I'm taking the over, definitely over 41. What Vegas? Is that the Vegas current projection?
I think it's 41.5. Yeah.
Yeah. Similar to last year, a lot of Knick fans can make some bread. Don't bet over your head, bet using your head. But I think 41, I'm taking the over for sure. And I think between 47 to 50.
Yeah, I went 48 because I'm including some minor setbacks as far as injuries. Now, if we stay healthy, I'm going over 50. But including injuries, I say 48 wins. Tricky Nicky, he says 49 and 33. Canal 50 wins. Shot Powers 51. Who else we got? DeRoz over 53. Tricky Nicky 42.5. So I mean, that's some of the Mitch Healthy dead on Tony. Mitch Healthy is over 50 wins. And no other injuries. Our point guards stay healthy, over 50 wins. But I expect some type of minor setbacks.
And what kind of input or influence do you think these rookies will have? Do you think they'll be a no factor? Do you think they will get an opportunity and shine, or do you think it'll be more of just a training bodies?
Yeah. Again, another point that I brought up on the streets is buzzing, and I've been saying for a while now. I think the only way. All right, don't take it the wrong way, but I think if these guys make an impact, it's because something went wrong. I don't think they're in a position where they'll be in the rotation, or they'll be relied upon to, showcase themselves for 15 minutes a game. So if they are playing 15 minutes a game, I think that's because we lost somebody got hurt, or something of that nature. Knock on wood.
Facts. Yeah. I think
But
McBride.
That's a good problem to have. And yes, I agree. McBride, I think he's the most likely to even see the floor. I mean, honestly, I think Grimes is going to have the toughest time to see the floor. Let's say that, because we have injury history, if you will, with our 2 point guards. We have injury history with our starting center, and our backup center, although he was relatively healthy last year, has had injury history throughout his career, and is pretty frail. So I think Sims is more likely to see the floor before Grimes as well. So it's going to be real tough for Grimes to see the floor, and not because of his own ability or anything like that. I just think we're very heavy at the guard position.
I agree.
We just did an over-under on the Knicks this year, 41 wins. Your over-under, and I don't know if you want to give a prediction or you just want to leave it at over.
Over, I say between 46 and 48. Could be 50 if everyone is healthy, right? But I say between 46 and 48. But that's not a knock on the Knicks. It's just that Eastern Conference, there's not a lot of gimmies in the conference. And so you can wind up with a 6 seed and have like 43 wins. I mean, it's a really tough conference. I think tougher than last year. It was tight last year, if you remember. There were no gimmies last year, but at least you could say, all right, Washington, Chicago, now
and
Orlando, right?
Teams will play us harder. That they'll know we're up against the New York Knicks. They're a tougher matchup. They'll take us seriously.
That's a very good point. Even the ones we're better than, we're going to get their best effort.
Yeah, and last year, a lot of the projected better teams had slow starts, and a lot of the projected lower teams had good starts, which kind of, you know, messed everything up in a sense. But that's where you got that. It wasn't that many gimmies last year either.
Right.
The next one, over under, RJ averaged 17.6 last year. I'm not gonna go through every stat. I got them all written down. But I'll do points with RJ. I may change it up with other guys.
What
17.6.
What was the field goal percentage?
That I do not have.
Okay.
I do say that's definitely gonna go up. So like whatever it was last year, I think it's going up. So 17.6 for RJ, over under. And if you want to throw a number out there, you could do that as well.
There's more options, right? If he's more efficient, and I think he shot pretty well last year. If he's more efficient, maybe he could stay in that same range. But Kimber's getting more shots. Fournier is getting more shots.
I believe he had 15 shots a game last year. Just to maybe put some kind of perspective on it,
right?
If he's because I don't know if he gets. I think he gets less shots, but more, better efficiency.
Yeah, I'm gonna say under. Though I think the Knicks will score more points too, right? But it also depends on the pace. If our pace is not increased, if it's the same slow pace, there's only but so many shots available when you're playing that type of a pace like that. I'm gonna say under.
And my guy Chicky Nicky said 43% from the field, 40.1 from three. So
that's good.
Yeah, I definitely think he jumps up to about 45, 46%. Yeah, I think that 3-point shot stays at 40, maybe even rises up to 42, 43.
Wow.
Think about the roster and who, if you just had to say who's gonna have the most open looks, who's the guy that, if they're gonna help off of, who's it gonna be? It's gonna be RJ.
Right, but 43, that you are a sniper. If you hitting 43% from three.
If he jumped it up to 40.1 or 40.01, whatever it was, 40% with the abysmal start that he had last year, you know what I mean? Like, I think he could get it up to 42, 43. Yeah, I really do.
Say that again.
I'm a Knicks fan.
Jan,
you're going in and out.
Yeah, Jan, you breaking up on us.
Let me go out, man.
All right. Oh, excuse me, guys. Yeah, he was. Did I do that? My bad, Queen. I'm having all technical difficulties.
Listen, I'm trying to fix one thing and pull the cord right out. I'm gonna have to start the whole thing over again.
My apologies to the chat. My apologies. G-Man, salute. What's going on, bro?
G-Man, long time.
Appreciate you guys tuning in. The next guy I got up is Alec Burks. 12.7 points per game. And the over under on 12.7 for Alec Burks.
Under. I'll say about 10, 11. Like, how many more? We got more mouths to feed. so to speak. And if there's not an increase in pace, where are these extra points coming from, right? If we still taking, we're not taking 100 shots. I'm just saying 100 shots a game. Basically, you're just going to be dividing them up amongst different people. I think people's the scoring average will go up if instead of 100 shots a game, now we taking 114, 115. Then there's more opportunities. But I just don't see Tibbs increasing the pace. If he does, that would be great. I would like to see some more fast break points. The beginning of the season, the point differential was like 0.9 between our defense and our offense. I mean, that's a tight rope, right? So I think that's the big question. Are we gonna play at a faster pace? Then we can say over. If we're not playing at a faster pace and we got more mouths to feed, I'm gonna say under.
I think we gonna run a faster pace just by default. I think part of the reason our pace wasn't that good is because of the limitations of not to put it all on one Reggie Bullock, but that had a huge part of it. You know what I mean? Like, or without discrediting the guys we had, let's just say the guys we brought in are going to increase the pace automatically. You know what I mean? Without even Tibbs' influence, if you will. But what's one of the main things, if anything, that you heard from Tibbs through the TV while he's on the sideline? You know what I mean? And it was run, push the pace. You know what I mean? Like that's pretty much what you heard, especially throughout the first half of the season. If it wasn't Obi, you know what I mean? Like, so it was probably Obi the most, but then it was like run or push the pace. So I think it does increase. I don't think I gave my over under on RJ at 17.6. I agree. I think it's gonna be about the same. But I'm gonna actually go under. I'm gonna say 16 points, but I think he's going to take less shots. He might take 10 shots a game and get 16 points. And then Alec Burks, I'm actually gonna go over, and I think he's gonna be closer to 14 points a game. I think the pushing of the pace is gonna benefit him.
Right.
I think he's gonna have more time in that second unit now than he did last year, where he was, mixed in the first unit a lot more often. So I think he'll be able to dominate a little bit more this year. I think his shots actually increase as well. Fournier, 17.1 points a game.
I say over. I think he's gonna be the second leading scorer on the Knicks behind Randall. And Randall may even go down some. But I think Fournier is going to be huge for us. Just his ability to score on all three levels, his diversity, his ability to play make as well. I think he's going to score more than that. I think he might be 19. Randall might be 20.8 or something like that. And Fournier might be 19.4 or something like that.
I agree in over. I think he's actually going to be our leading scorer.
Okay.
I'm going to give him like 21, or 20.9 or something around that. But yeah, I think he's going to ultimately lead us in scoring. Not saying he's the go-to guy. I think it's just going to pan out that way. So I'll say 21, like 21.1. Because moving on to Julius Randle at 24.1, I'm going under, and I think he's going to drop to 20 points a game, 20.8 or something like that, somewhere just under Fournier. What's your thoughts?
I agree, but I think that's going to lead us in scoring, though. But I agree that he's probably going to be. I think him and Fournier are going to be neck and neck. I think the percent, like maybe 1 or 2 points from each other, in terms of scoring. Yeah.
And just to add some caveat to it, 10.2 rebounds for Randall. My over, I'm going over on that one. I think with less strain on him to just do everything and assist and rebound and score all the points and facilitate. I think he can focus on the rebounding. I think his rebounds is gonna jump to somewhere like 12.6, 12.7.
Wow.
So yeah, I think there's gonna be points this year where he's in that conversation of leading the league. You know what I mean? Top
Rebounds. Wow.
Yeah, top 3, top 5 in rebounds. At least that's what I'm hoping. And then 6.5 assists for him. I also think that is gonna drop. I'm gonna go 4.5. But that's just due to all the playmaking we got. I'm excited about this one.
Can I just comment briefly on the rebounder for Julius? I think it's gonna be around the same. However, because in my opinion, and I have to look at the stats, Mitch and Noel are not great defensive rebounders, and Mitch, I think he may average 7, 8 rebounds, 2 or 3 of them maybe offensive rebounds. So in terms of defensive rebounds, it might be 4, 5, 6, or whatever it is. If Mitch picks up his defensive rebounding, he's closer to the basket. Julius may stay the same or even go down a little. But if Mitch doesn't improve with his defensive rebounding, again, he's great on the offensive end. But if he doesn't improve with his defensive rebounds, then yeah, you may see uptick in the rebounding.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the reason why I agree. I think Randall's gonna have to be that guy on the defensive rebounding side of the board. And he's pretty good offensive rebounding as well. Randall is. So if he gets one more offensive rebound a game, and somewhere close to 2 more defensive rebounds, he's right there at 13. But I'm saying 12 point something, 12.8, 12.5, somewhere around there. But I think it's a go. Obi Toppin.
Obi.
We're gonna do all 3 for him. 4.1 points a game, 2.2 rebounds, and 0.5 assists. I think he goes up over.
Of course. I mean, when you starting with those numbers, yes, he's gonna be over.
I think he's gonna double up all across the board. So I'm going 8 points, 4 rebounds, and a full assist. And that's me being modest, to be honest.
I mean, I think a lot of it is going to depend on Tibbs' trust in him. Is Tibbs going to trust him more, give him more than 10, 11 minutes a game? Like, yeah, if he gets 15, 18 minutes a game, I don't know if he'll get 20, because then the only way that'll happen is if Tibbs goes small ball, and he just hasn't shown a propensity to do that. So he'll probably be around 15, 18. If I think I'm going to say 8. The reason why is the efficiency. Is he going to be very efficient in that short amount of time that he has? It's easier to be efficient when you have more shots. You're taking more shots. So if you shoot and you're not that well in the first quarter, you can make it up in this, but when you only playing like 14, minutes, it's kind of hard to be efficient when you're taking 5 shots, unless you come out, bam, 4 out of 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you're saying 8 points?
I would say 8.
I mean, yeah, I said 8 too, but again, my 8 is a modest 8. Because I think there's a chance. There's a chance he goes into double digits with 10
in 15 minutes. You think?
I do, only because the addition of Kemba. So any minutes he plays with Kemba, I can see 2 baskets right there.
But he's playing. I don't even see Kemba playing on with the second team. Do you?
I mean, I see Obi giving Randall a rest, and there being overlapping stretches where he's gonna play with both guys. We've seen the chemistry with Rose, but then we also see Rose playing less minute with the second unit because he was in there with the first unit. So even if it's not Kemba, I think he's gonna have more time with Rose, and then the addition of his own growth, his personal growth.
Right.
Yeah,
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, absolutely. His
That's
aggression.
the biggest thing. His
I mean,
growth. Yeah.
I think he could get. I think he could get the 4 points with his own growth anyway. So if the other 4 points are, you know what I mean, we talking 2 baskets, we talking 4 free throws. Like I think 8 points is being modest. I think the rebound should go up to at least 4. I think that's actually still underachieving in my book. But
Tony,
I'm happy.
he only played 15. He gonna have to come in like the Tasmanian devil, you know,
I mean,
to get 10 points, 5 rebounds, and an assist.
10, 5, and 1. You think that's asking a lot?
And it's not asking a lot, but in 15 minutes, or 15 to 18 minutes, because remember, it's not like the offense is going to be going through him when he comes in the game, right? Because he's sharing that floor with Quickly, who likes to shoot from anywhere, Burke, Rose. So I wish he was a better offensive rebounder because he would have a better chance, right, to corral in those misses.
Well, that's
he'll get some alley oops.
He's good at offensive rebounding his own shot. Just to give him credit on that end. That's one of the things I was just gonna point out. But continue. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, like when he's in the game, there's so many other mouths to feed, and those guys go for self. And I don't think they're being selfish. They're just very confident that they can, make a shot. So I don't know if he's gonna get that many opportunities. Tricky Nicky. That's before the All-Star break.
I mean, so let's move on to IQ. 11.4 points per game. This one I'm touchy on. I'm not sure. I think it could go either way, but if this kid ends up just being efficient, I think it doesn't go. There's no way it goes down.
Right, because he gonna put his shot up.
There's no way it goes down.
He ain't waiting for nobody to pass. And he brings the ball up. Sometimes he has the ball in his hands. I agree with you. If he's more efficient, he could probably stay around, 11, maybe go up a little bit. And I want him to be more efficient. Like, even I know he has a lot of confidence in himself. And I think that's why he pulls up from 4-point range, right? Because he has a lot of confidence that he can hit that shot. But my preference would be for him to not take those shots. I know you can hit them, especially when you just early in the shot clock, you just bringing the ball down and pulling, right? So I think that if he takes that out of his game for now and plays, takes shots within the flow of the offense, he will be more efficient. It's those shots that brings down his percentage.
I'll say this: if he shoots 46% from the field, he's gonna average 16 points a game. And then at any point he shoots over 46, you might as well just add a point to his total. So if he could get to 50% shooting, he's gonna be a 20-point a game scorer off the bench.
Yeah, but those are sniper numbers,
They are.
50,
They are. I mean, yeah. Because but he's on pace to be that. Like, if you look at his numbers, probably the closest to 50, 40, 90 than especially any rookie in Knicks recent history. But you could probably look at the league, and there haven't been many rookies that put up the numbers percentage wise from him. 88 from the free throw line, which is says a lot because he got real sloppy at the end of the year.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like missing two
Yep.
two in a row, missing
Right.
3 in one game.
Right.
so and still shot 88 for the year.
Mhm.
Was that 40? I believe he was under 40, right? From 3 this year.
I
He was
believe
one.
so.
I think he was just under 40. But you could chalk that up to some shot selection. And I guess the hardest thing would probably be getting anywhere near 50, but I think he could get to 45, 46% from the field.
Yeah, his field goal percentage was 39.5. 39. That means if he wasn't shooting a 3, then he wasn't shooting well. I think if his shot selection improves, he can stay where he is. He can even improve on that. But his shot selection, I believe, has a lot to do with his field goal percentage. Yeah.
Agreed. This is a guy who I believe the numbers are going to drop all across the board, but his impact might increase all across the board. Taj Gibson, 5.4 points per game, 5.6 rebounds, 1.8 assists. I think it just drops all across the board.
Taj?
I don't know if I think he's definitely more of an insurance policy,
right?
A locker room veteran presence, a guy that can counsel some of the young guys and even some of our leaders are Randall. You know what I mean? Good influence on Randall as well. But I don't think
he played. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, no, go ahead.
I don't think we use him until we need to use him.
Yeah, I think he's situational, and I know we hope that if the situation arises, Sim would get the call, but I really think it's still going to be Taj because I think that Thibodeau trusts him. So I think that Taj would get the call before Sims. I would prefer Sims to get it, but just knowing Thibodeau, I think it would be Taj.
I don't know. I mean, I think it all depends. I think I mean, I agree with you because, the whole rookie situation, the whole I mean, that's it in a nutshell really, because how much again, we're in that position where we don't have to rely on these young guys. and I don't think we're going to put them in a position unless we actually absolutely need to.
Right.
And the time that they're available is limited. So I think what you really want to do with a two-way guy, especially if he stays as a two-way guy. Now, if somehow he gets a full contract, and takes Luka's spot, then I could see them being more invested in him, and then him getting a shot. But in the two-way situation, I think they kind of let him play out his season in the G League, and then use that time for him if needed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
and
if
I like that.
No, I agree. I like it too. Again, good situation to be in. But if we end up giving him a full contract, I could see him playing center if needed more before Taj, for the simple fact, I think we want to reserve Taj. You know what I mean? Like
we do. I don't think Tibbs do. I don't think Tibbs do. Tibbs be running these players out there like they're not injured, like they're not 30 something. It's like they fresh out of college.
He does. I ain't gonna lie. You just gave me the vision of Taj exhausting himself literally on like a 4-play span, and you can just see him can't breathe, and it's like, oh man, yo, if I see this, I know Tibbs like looking the other way, like
Yeah, exactly. You know what? I wish as an organization we use the G League more. I mean, let these guys like I hope Sims goes to the G League and starts there and gets that experience for most of the season. I mean, I know coaches, I guess they feel like having them up with the team, practicing with the team is better. But as the season goes on, it's not really a lot of practice going on, you know? So it's just a lot of games. And if you're not playing, I guess you do learn from the game plan and the meetings and things of that sort. But I would really like to see those guys who don't play a lot go down to the G League and be more a part of that.
Yeah, I agree. Salute, Josh. I just seen you. I didn't see you on there. We'll try to run through these because we got like 10 minutes before we do your show. Kevin Knox.
Knoxy.
Oh man. And back to the pressure. I don't know if he was on for that, but I think he's on that list. Knox, because like I was saying earlier, he's playing for his career. Where Mitch is playing for a contract. And if we don't extend him, yeah, he's playing for a contract, and there's some pressure there. But I think if Mitch, knock on wood, if Mitch has the same exact year that he had this year again, and we're not wishing that on him, of course. Right. I think whether it's us or some other team, he still gets a contract. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Knox is literally playing for his NBA career, so I think that puts him under some more pressure.
But I just don't know. They haven't traded him. So that leads you to believe that, they still believe in him or they haven't found the right deal. But yeah, he doesn't play. I mean, I just don't I don't get it.
I don't even think it's about the right deal. Because I think if deals were on the table, I think he would have been moved already. I think it's more of they do value him still, and I still value him still. It's just hard to speak up for him publicly because he has to take advantage of opportunities that he get, especially from here on out. Like he's been given all the opportunity in the world. Right. And now it's really about taking advantage of the opportunity. 3.9 points a game, 1.5 rebounds, 0.5 assists. So I'm gonna put an asterisk on my answer, but I think if given the opportunity, I think his numbers go up. If given the same exact opportunity, so I don't know what he played minutes per game or any of that.
He didn't play. I mean, I think he got minutes in the first 25 games or something like that, and then after that, he was super situational.
Even at 3.9, I think I wouldn't have guessed that if I had to guess without looking. So I think his numbers are either going to stay the same or go up. I don't think they go down. But obviously that's given whatever he averaged last year. If he averaged the same amount of minutes, because it had to have been at least like 10 minutes a game, I would have to guess. You know what I mean? I think his numbers actually do go up.
I think they go down because I just don't think he's gonna play.
I mean, yeah, if his numbers stay the same, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
If his minutes go down, obviously I think his numbers go down.
Right.
But if his minutes stay the same, I think he does the same or better. It's tough, man. It's tough for him though.
Yeah.
Last opportunity for him. Mitch, 8.3 points, 8.1 rebounds, 0.5 assists. Double time for Mitch, I think. I think it's here. I think he was on his way before the first injury. And I think we're gonna see, granted no injuries, I think we're gonna see the best Mitch that we've seen so far. I just really hope we lock him up now. If we lock him up now. If we lock him up now, all the question marks as far as like internal Knicks discussion thing, all that is gone. You know what I mean? There's no outside noise, no distraction, or no internal distraction. It's really about focusing and locking in. And I think we've seen the lock-in from our players last year. Everybody bought in, everybody locked in. So I just, with Randall locked up, Mitch is the last guy that we got to talk about, at least for the duration of this year. You know what I mean? And it kind of gives us a window of, hey, we know we rocking with this group for 2 years, this year and next. You know what I mean? Like, we got a window now, where no sidetrack. But yeah, I think he goes up all the way across the board. I'd like to see a full assists per game. The big question is, and I don't have his block numbers, but I think
it was 1.5.
1.5. Yeah. I think he jumps. I think he jumps to two. I think he jumps to 2 blocks a game.
That would be great.
So you want to add anything on Mitch or no?
Somebody said he averaged 2.5 blocks. I don't think he averaged 2.5 blocks.
I
think that's okay. I think those are the projections maybe in the chat. 12 points, 12 rebounds, 2.5 blocks, and 1 steal and 0.8 assists. Canal Band Lawyer. I would love it. I would love it. I think the Knicks will sign Mitch before the season starts, and I think Mitch is going to have the best season of his career, whether he's signed or not. Because even if he's not signed, he still needs to perform if he wants that if he wants the contract, right? So I think he's going to have the best season of his life. We're going to see the best Mitch coming up, and I think there's 2 guys that I've said changes the fortunes of the Knicks to maybe even a third. If Mitch plays like he's on fire and Kemba is Kemba.
You know what the beautiful thing is? They intertwined more so because I feel like the play that they can do off of each other. Kemba is deadly in the pick and roll. If Mitch can figure out that pick and like how to do a real pick, because I think that's one of his weaknesses, and I don't think it's talked about enough. And he's gonna have to learn from Taj, because Taj is excellent at it.
Right.
But yeah, that pick and roll could be so deadly between Kemba and Mitchell Robinson. I agree. I think it's gonna be like 12, and 2.
Yeah, that would be great.
Noel, 5.1 points, 6.1 rebounds, and 0.7 assists.
And I think it was like almost 1 steal and like over 2 blocks. He might, it depends on how many minutes he gets. He's another one that I would love if he picked up his defensive rebounding, but his shot blocking is just on point. I mean, his timing is just impeccable. You think the person is about to score. He just comes out of nowhere. And 1 steal from your center, that's huge. I think he'll probably be about the same.
All across the board?
I think so.
Yeah, I agree. I hope he could pull those rebound numbers up. It's all about effort. So it's not like it can't be done.
Right.
But maybe that's something you lose when you have that that anchor defensively. Maybe it's hard to focus on the two of the. Maybe you got to pick your poison in that aspect. And if that's the case, if you're gonna stay at 2.2 blocks, I'll take a little lackluster rebound in. Just make sure you boxing out so Randall could get it.
Right. And then hopefully he's been working on his hands.
Yes, I don't know how you work on that though.
I don't know how you work on it.
I mean,
you know, those little things we squeeze.
Maybe like some handball coordination type thing. Because if you could catch a handball, then you should be able to catch a basketball. Right, 2 left.
I got to actually get out of here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'll see you over there in a few minutes.
All right.
I just got
shout
the point guards left.
Okay.
Appreciate
shout out
you.
to the chat. 8:00 Queens Court. Tony Crow, Josh, aka Uncle Fulio. Look forward to seeing you guys. Thanks for your support. Really appreciate it. All right.
So I got two left. The point guards in this situation. So now I'm relying on you guys in the chat. I'll give my thoughts, and we'll start with Derrick Rose at 14.7 points per game, 2.6 rebounds, 4.2 assists. I think Rose is gonna balance out and be pretty even. I think he's going to be around 14, 15 points a game again. Rebounds, I don't know if it's going to go up. Maybe go down to 2.2, 2.5 or something. I think his assists actually go up. I think we're going to see a 5 assists, maybe even 6 assists a game from Derrick Rose next year. So 15 and 6 on the points and rebounds. See, Shot Power says 14.4 assists. Or excuse me, 12 points and 4 assists. So points going down, assists kind of going down, rebounds actually going up. See, Canal saying the same. The reason he gets same rebounds here. I think we're still talking about the Noel. But just to end it off real quick, Kemba Walker, with everybody saying he had a bad year last year, and the brother averaged 19 points per game, 19.3 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 4.9 assists. I think his numbers go up slightly. I think the Knicks will have 3 players averaging 20 points per game, and another 3 players within 5 points of 20 points per game. Kemba Walker, I think he's going to go up to 20 points per game. 4 rebounds sounds about right. I think his assists go up to 6, 7. I'm going to say 7. 20 and 7. Closest numbers to Stephon Marbury since Stephon Marbury. Oh, man. Well, I appreciate you guys joining me. I got to jump in on the Queen's show. Hopefully I see you guys there. Queen's Court, Knicks and Bruises, MBK fan. Shout out to Sim, the Podfather. Appreciate you guys. Your blackest time. I'm out. Oh, and then CT, appreciate you. Jan Mitchell, the Knicks Cave. I know we had some technical difficulties, but check out his channel. He does some good stuff. Up and coming podcaster. CT, the Streets is Buzzing. Check out his podcast as well. Salute.